Hello everyone, so welcome back to my class. Today we will discuss an interesting essay by Bertrand Russell, Knowledge and Wisdom. आज चाहिँ हामी Bertrand Russell को Knowledge and Wisdom भन्ने एस्से माथि डिस्कस गर्नेछौँ. It's one of the important essay. So Knowledge and Wisdom माथि चाहिँ एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुराहरू Bertrand Russell ले गरेका छन् र त्यो इन्ट्रेस्टिङ कुराहरू के हुन् भन्ने कुरा आज तपाईहरुलाई म चाहिँ यो क्लासमा एकदमै क्लियर गर्नेछु. But before that, यदि तपाईहरुले चाहिँ मेरो च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गर्नु भएको छैन भने please do not forget to subscribe the channel, and if you like my video then please do not forget to comment and share it with your friends. Okay, so let's start our discussion without making any delay. Okay, so we will start from their key differences, from their definitions. उनीहरुको definition चाहिँ कसरी फरक छ त अब knowledge र wisdom बीच के फरक छ. Russell starts this essay by explaining their key definitions. Okay, according to Russell ले भन्छन् कि knowledge is defined as the acquisition of data and information. Knowledge भनेको चाहिँ त्यो कुरा हो जुन सिम्पली हामी डेटालाई एक्वायर गर्छौं वा इन्फर्मेसनलाई एक्वायर गर्छौं. सो हामीले कुनै कुरा देख्यौं र कुनै कुरालाई चाहिँ सिम्पली एक्वायर गर्यौं, इन्फर्मेसनलाई एक्वायर गर्यौं, बुक्स पढ्यौं, हामीले कुनै डकुमेन्ट्री हेर्यौं, हामीले कुनै मुभी हेर्यौं अथवा हामीले कुनै पनि इन्फर्मेसन आर्टिकल जेसुकै पढ्यौं, हामीले त्यो कुरालाई हामीले एक्वायर गर्यौं भने त्यो नलेज हो. सो विजडम तिर आउँदाखेरि अब रसेलले भन्छन् विजडम इज डिफाइन्ड एज द प्र्याक्टिकल एप्लिकेसन एन्ड युज अफ द नलेज टु क्रिएट भ्यालु. सो उनले के भन्छन् भने हामीसँग भएको नलेज इन्फर्मेसनलाई हामीले यदि भ्यालु क्रिएट गर्नलाई चाहिँ युज गर्यौं, एप्लाई गर्यौं भने त्यो चाहिँ विजडम हुन्छ. हामीसँग भएको इन्फर्मेसन डेटालाई हामीले चाहिँ एउटा मोरलको लागि, एउटा भ्यालुको लागि, एउटा बेटरमेन्ट अफ ह्युम्यानिटीको लागि चाहिँ अप्लाई गर्यौं भने द्याट बिकम्स विजडम. So wisdom is a kind of sensitive use of, a kind of clever use of, a kind of genius use of your information, your data for the betterment of humanity. र यसरी चाहिँ wisdom knowledge भन्दा फरक रहेको छ. So wisdom is gained through learning and practical experience. अब wisdom भन्ने कुरा हामी practical experience through सिक्छौं. हामीले बुक पढेर सिम्पली रिडिङ स्टडी गरेर मात्र विजडम अक्वायर हुँदैन. वी अक्वायर विजडम थ्रु एक्सपिरियन्स. धेरै कुराहरू हामीले चाहिँ पढेर मात्रै बुझ्छौं भन्ने कन्सेप्ट हुन्छ. सो द्याट्स रङ. विजडम भन्ने कुरा हामी नपढेर थ्रु आवर एक्सपिरियन्स भन्ने कुरा पनि बुझ्छौं. सो त्यो चाहिँ विजडम हो. ओके, विजडम चाहिँ मेमोराइजेसन. हामी जसरी आफ्नो टेक्स्ट बुक्सहरू पढिरह हुन्छौं, त्यसलाई मेमोराइज गरेर हुन्छौं, तिनीहरुको की आइडियाजहरू हामीहरु चाहिँ मेमोराइज गरेर हुन्छौं, रटिरह हुन्छौं, त्यो चाहिँ नलेज हो. But when we apply it in our practical life with the sense of so betterment, with the sense of so immediate good effect, then that's called wisdom. त्यो बेला चाहिँ हाम्रो भएको डेटा अथवा इन्फर्मेसन विजडम हुन्छ जब हामी त्यसलाई चाहिँ एउटा सेन्सिबल वेले चाहिँ युज गर्छौं, फर द बेटरमेन्ट अफ ह्युम्यानिटी युज गर्छौं. यसरी चाहिँ नलेज र विजडम बीचको की डिफरेन्स रहेको छ. I hope you got the point here. तपाईले चाहिँ यहाँ बुझ्नुभयो भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई लाग्छ. So let's move ahead. Okay, so now we will discuss on factors contributing to wisdom. अब according to Russell केही त्यस्ता factors छन् which contribute to wisdom. How can we call a person wise? So त्यो मान्छे अथवा wise हुनको लागि what are the qualifications to have भन्ने जस्तै हो. So first मा Russell talks about sense of proportion. एउटामा चाहिँ सेन्स अफ प्रोपोर्सन हुनुपर्छ अथवा साँच्चीकै इफ एनीवन इज वाइज पर्सन द्याट पर्सन सुड ह्याभ अथवा मस्ट ह्याभ सेन्स अफ प्रोपोर्सन. भनेको कुनै पनि कुरा कति मात्रामा अप्लाई गर्ने भन्ने कुरा भयो भने त्यो चाहिँ के हुन्छ त, अ काइन्ड अफ फर्स्ट फ्याक्टर टु कन्ट्रिब्युट टु विजडम. So he defines this point as the capacity to take account of all the important factors in a problem and to attach to its due weight. So now look at here, he brings examples from different kind of field here. अब रसेलले के एक्जाम्पल दिन्छन् कि सपोज देयर इज अ साइन्टिस्ट. अब साइन्टिस्टले चाहिँ एउटा इन्भेन्सन गर्छ कुनै मेडिसिनको, तर त्यो मेडिसिनले के रिड्युस गर्छ त, त्यो मेडिसिनले चाहिँ इन्फान्ट मोर्टालिटी रेट रिड्युस गर्छ. मानौ आफ्टर टेकिङ द्याट भ्याक्सिन हैन, इन्फान्ट्स मोर्टालिटी रेट चाहिँ घट्छ. सो द्याट्स गुड. अब त्यो चाहिँ राम्रो हो भन्छ. तर इफ द्याट बिकम्स, इफ नोबडी इज डाइङ हैन, मानौ कोही पनि मरिरहेको छैन, देयर विल बी इम्ब्यालेन्स इन नेचर. नेचरमा त इम्ब्यालेन्स हुन्छ नि त. किन भन्दाखेरि देयर विल बी पपुलेसन ग्रोथ हुन्छ र ड्यू टु पपुलेसन ग्रोथ देयर विल बी स्क्यार्सिटी अफ फुड. सो एभ्रिथिङ इज नेसेसरी भन्ने जस्तै चाहिँ रसेलले प्रुभ गर्न खोजेका हुन्. इभन अब त्यो इन्फान्ट मोर्टालिटी रेटलाई डिक्रिज गर्ने भ्याक्सिन पनि बढी युज भयो भने इफ नो वान इज डाइङ हैन, इफ एभ्री वान is living more than 200 or 300 years, then there will be imbalance in nature. due to overpopulation growth. जस्तै we can give example of this. Okay, COVID-19, COVID को कुरा गर्यो भने many people, a league is at a kind of conspiracy to reduce the population, because many people find that the population of the world has grown up more than necessary. Okay, so he gives next example के भन्छन् भन्दाखेरि we have to make inventions in science and technology, but if that invention, if that innovation, or if that so pursuit of knowledge becomes more than necessary, it may have like bad effect. People or scientists, they invented like nuclear so technology, but because of that unnecessary, or because of that unwise use of nuclear technology, or because of the so unavailability of the sense, because of inability to understand how much that knowledge should be used for the betterment of humanity. Some people, they develop, or scientists, they develop like nuclear weapons, and not only that, they handed the formula, or they handed the power to control that nuclear weapons to some lunatics, or some those politicians which or who do not have sense of humanity. अब मान्छेले न्युक्लियर इन्भेन्सन्सहरू गरे, न्युक्लियर साइन्समा चाहिँ उनीहरूले प्रोग्रेस गरे, साइन्टिस्टहरूले उनीहरूले न्युक्लियर एटम बम बनाए, तर त्यो एटम बम पनि कसको हातमा छोडे त उनीहरूले त्यस्ता चाहिँ लुनाटिक्स अथवा त्यो किसिमको इरेसनल पोलिटिसियन्सहरूको हातमा छोडे, बिकज अफ विच मेनी पिपल लस्ट देयर लाइफ्स इन सेकेन्ड वर्ल्ड वार when it was dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And because of that, now even some countries which are nuclearly powered, they keep on threatening for the World War III. है, त्यही कति मात्रामा चाहिँ नलेजलाई युज गर्ने भन्ने सेन्स अफ प्रोपोर्सन अल्सो म्याटर्स. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट पोइन्ट, comprehension and awareness of ends of human life भन्छन्. Russell says that so these also contribute for the increment of so wiseness to anyone. Comprehension means so ability to understand something, and awareness of ends of human life means so what is the goal of your life. So what do you want to achieve? Do you want to achieve like peace? Do you want to achieve a quality life? Do you want to achieve a kind of good life? What do you want to achieve भन्ने कुरा हो. So according to religion, now different religions also have different kind of purpose. Like if we talk about Buddhism, they talk about nirvana, enlightenment, and then if we talk about Jainism, they also talk about very basic, simple, and humble life. So even religions, some religions through in the world, they also so promote this kind of very simple living and high thinking. So what should be the goal of our life? The goal of our life should be well known to us. The goal of our life should be to take tiresome burden, to take tiresome anxiety, or to be happy even with minimum income, even with minimum resources. So we have to have that sense of comprehension. हामीले त्यो बुझ्न कोसिस चाहिँ अथवा सक्नुपर्छ कि what is the goal of our life, to be happy or to be so anxious भन्ने कुरा. So he gives example from Hegel. Hegel was a great historian according to Russell, but he failed to understand the sense of history, because in his history book he came to write, or he came to so mention that German race is supreme race, and which was read by Hitler, and Hitler also was unable to understand the so information he read, and he took that information in wrong way. So when Hitler read that Germans are the supreme race, he declared a kind of war against the rest of non-Aryans, and there so 6 million Jews were massacred during his tenure during the Second World War, waged by Hitler. So historians should also write, if they write about some information or facts, they should see through those informations very critically. They simply should not write that. Include not only intellect but also feeling. So now look at here, what is actual comprehension? Comprehending or in understanding something is not only understanding what is written there, but trying to understand that thing with real usage or feeling, how that thing affects your emotions or feeling. If that thing affects you positively, then that can be called a good thing, and if that does not affect you positively, that information or data cannot be termed as good information or good knowledge. Okay, so next, third point, Russell says the choice of ends to be pursued. So what should be the choice of ends to be pursued? Okay, so what should be the goal of our life? As we discussed in our last slide also, here we discussed like awareness of ends of human life. What could be the our ends, estimate what could be our goal. Now here the choice of ends to be pursued. So, what are the mediums to pursue the goal? How we should pursue the goal that we want to pursue? Suppose if I want to be teacher, then what are the process to be teacher? Suppose if I want to be rich, then should I be rich simply by like dominating, by suppressing in human way or in a human way? So, what are the process to pursue our goal? They also matter. हामीले चाहिँ अब इफ वी वान्ट टु बी रिच, हामीले चाहिँ रिच फेमस हुनु छ भने वाट सुड बी द प्रोसेस? So simply anyone wants to be rich, not should not be rich or should not be famous, should not be great, so called great, simply by suppressing and dominating others. So what are our ways? हाम्रो चाहिँ वेजहरू के हुन्छ? हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यो प्रोसेस टु acquire आवर वाट आर द मिन्स टु अक्वायर आवर इन्स भन्ने कुरा हो. हाम्रो इन्स अथवा गोल के हुन्छ? टु बी रिच फेमस होइन, जेसुकै इन्स अथवा गोल भए पनि त्यो गोललाई अक्वायर गर्ने हाम्रो चाहिँ मिन्स कस्तो छ त? इज द्याट मिन अ ह्युमन मिन? त्यो जुन चाहिँ प्रोसेस छ है, त्यो प्रोसेस चाहिँ ह्युमन हो कि इनह्युमन हो भन्ने कुरा हेर्नुपर्छ. So here also he gives example of Mr. A and Mr. B. So according to Russell, suppose if you are friend of Mr. A and Mr. B, and if Mr. A and Mr. B hate each other, and first you go to Mr. A and you ask that why he hates Mr. B, he will come up with probable reasons that may be partly true, partly untrue. So now then you go to Mr. B and ask why you hate Mr. A, then he will also give so probably true answers according to him. Now again you come to A and you say that okay, do you know that Mr. B also feels exactly like you feel to him? Now what will be your role? Your role will be to reduce the hatred between them. Your role will be to make to compromise between them. Your role will simply not be to ignite the hatred between them. So as a third party, you will be compromising between them. You will be going to both of them and you will be trying to reduce the hatred between them by saying that hatred is not the ultimate goal. So if you become able to minimize, reduce the hatred between them, then you will be a kind of wise person. So the duty here, basically Russell wants to focus on the duty of a wise person. The duty of a wise person is to reduce the hatred between the people of our society or between the different faction of our society. So next, Russell says sufficient patience and sufficient persuasiveness. What you need in your life. So we need sufficient patience and sufficient persuasiveness. So if we don't have patience, then there will always be hatred, violence, and then anger prevalent in society. So we need patience and persuasiveness. We need to persuade others for the good thing. Okay, so let's move ahead. I hope you are getting the thing. Finally, he says one should be free from his or her personal biases and prejudices. Whatever he or she does, one should be free from personal biases and prejudices. So this is the point of impartiality. If we cannot maintain impartiality in any event, action, or any course of our life, then we cannot be called a wise person. Suppose if you have to select between A and B for some job, and if you are a human resource manager, and if A is your relative and if you provide job to A, then you are impartial. There will be no partiality for in your selection process. So in every course of our life, in every decision of our life, we should be free from personal prejudice. We should keep our prejudice biases aside and then we judge anything. That will be the critical analysis of everything. Otherwise that will be that's just subjective analysis. That will be very much so biased analysis. Any action, any act where we keep our opinion, where we keep our subjective perception for making decision, that is completely biased, that is completely unfair. So we should keep aside our personal perception, subjective opinion, making while making any neutral or fair decision. Okay, though no one can be completely impartial, Russell says, but at least we can work to be impartial. We can make our best effort to be impartial as much as we can. अब सो हामीले चाहिँ इम्पार्सल हुनुपर्छ एभ्री डिसिजनमा एभ्री एक्टमा हामीले सिम्पली आफ्नो प्रिजुडिसलाई वा बाइसलाई युज गरेर चाहिँ काम गर्न थाल्यो भने देयर विल बी सो कम्युनलिजम, देयर विल बी हेट्रेड, देयर विल बी मोर सो सप्रेसन, देयर विल बी मोर unfair in society. People will suffer because only few people will be so given rights, only few people will be so promoted, only few people will be like will be given rights or will be able to experience the presence of governance, the presence of like state. So to make everyone that they also belong to same community, same state, in our every act in our every decision we should be free from our biases and personal prejudice. If we cannot be so, then there will always be hatred, there will always be faction, there will always be so segregation in society. Okay, so now these are some of the points, or these are basically 4 points discussed by Russell that makes us a wise person. Okay, I hope you understood here. Okay, so now to conclude, what are the 4 factors Russell discusses? He discusses these 4 factors. So please take note of this thing. I hope you will. Okay, so finally he says that the more we will become a modern person, the more the importance of wisdom will grow. So wisdom it was less necessary than it is now. So at the time as the world grows into modern phases, the need of wisdom is even more crucial. So by saying this, he concludes this essay. I hope you understood the essay. So if you like the video, if you like this lecture, please do not forget to hit the like button and share this class with your friends. Okay, so this much for today. As a late and so we will meet in next video soon. Thank you.